being so serious. Idiots thinking it will matter, keep me company downtown before the clock runs out. Sun is shining, but the rain is welcome too. Friends are nearby, don't need another view. Time is not on my mind, but then it's you. Oh, I love it when the love comes around, and then I remember all things must pass. But I'm not gonna wake up, wake up. I'm not ready, let me have another day. Don't wake up, wake up. Keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up. No, no, not yet, whoa. No, not yet, whoa. No, no, not yet, whoa. I'm afraid I'll end up nowhere. They keep saying I'll be fine, but how you know that I'll be there when it feels like I'm lying every time someone asks how it goes, and I save the details that actually mean something. Sun is shining, but the rain is welcome too. Friends are nearby, don't need another view. Time is not on my mind, but then it's you. Oh, I love it when the love comes around, and then I remember all things must pass. But I'm not gonna wake up, wake up. I'm not ready, let me have another day. Don't wake up, wake up. Keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up. No, no, not yet, whoa. No, not yet, whoa. No, no, not yet, whoa. But I'm not gonna wake up, wake up. Don't wake up, wake up. Keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up, wake up. I'm not ready, let me have another day. Don't wake up, wake up. Keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up. No, not yet, whoa. No, not yet, whoa. No, no, not yet, whoa. I'm not gonna wake up. What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We live it like this could be our final day. We're dreamers. Don't care what the others say. We're doing this in our own way. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. We come alive. We come alive. What's your weakness? What's your type? Somehow I wanna know all about you. Deep connection lights a spark. You already know me when we dance in the dark. We're dreamers. We're living. We're dreamers. We're doing this in our own way. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about come alive in the nighttime. There's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. Oh, 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 we come alive. Yeah, we come alive. Oh, 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 we come alive. We come alive. I won't make it easy for you now. You got 2 minutes of my time, and I don't really break too easily, but I'm worth it, 'cause I'll slip into your dreams tonight. Oh, so give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind. Just watch me break in. You're sweet. You're falling into me, touch me. I swear you would do anything that I want. So keep us awake till the dawn. Baby, feel free. I wanna make you sweat on me. I wanna make you sweat on me. I got you wrapped around my finger, but don't you try to call me tomorrow. There's nothing personal in having a little fun. You wait and see if it's worth your while. So give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind. Just watch me break in. You're sweet. You're falling into me, touch me. I swear you would do anything that I want. So keep us awake till the dawn. Baby, feel free. I wanna make you sweat on me. I wanna make you sweat on me. Feel free. I wanna make you sweat on me. Just take a hint. You got a free pass. Oh, try to hide it, but you had me from the get-go. Let me be frank, I'm not that complicated. If you need me, what's the use of playing games? No, there's no denying what we want. Just watch me break in. You're sweet. You're falling into me, touch me. I swear you would do anything that I want. So keep us awake till the dawn. Baby, feel free. I wanna make you sweat on me. I wanna make you sweat on me. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just yourself, 'cause you're a work of art. You should know that you are perfect with those flaws. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Know that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long.
Everyone. Wow, what great timing right at the end of the song. Hi everyone, I'm Sally Sparks Cousins, the founder of the Sparkle Class Academy, and I'm here to teach you how to have sales conversations that don't feel all salesy, sleazy and gross. So if you're tuning in live, let me know. And if you're brand new to the Sparkle world, what I need you to do is type new in the chat box, because we love to welcome brand new people into the Sparkle world. And if you're a sparkler from way back, you know what to do. Some purple hearts and some sparkles, baby. All right, so this is Monday Mentoring with Sally. Even though I say it every week. I swear I'm going to tell my team it needs to change. It used to be called Monday Mentoring. Haha, and I did say it wrong. It's now called Mentoring with Sally because it's now a Tuesday here in Australia, but a Monday in America. But anyway, I digress. I didn't win that fight. It's called Mentoring with Sally. What I want to do is just let you guys know, as you're starting to tune on in, what is this whole thing that we do every single week at this time. You see, I come in here live and I teach you a little something about the zone of genius that I've got. So I know about automation, marketing, and I love automation. I love numbers, sexy numbers, and I love tags and squiggly lines. Yeah, that's what makes automation work, baby. So I'm your automation nerd and lover of sexy numbers. Now, I can't come in here and teach you how to make a surfboard or candles or even sew a button on straight. Now, that's something my husband can do. He can sew buttons on straight and he can cook, right? Everyone should have a Danny in their lives. But I'm going to teach you a little something, and then we jump on over to our VIPs. Now, they don't all sort of jump in until it's sort of time. Usually they'll start rolling on in, but we have a few VIPs that are jumping on in. Let me see if I can find them. There they are. Hey, VIPs. Oh, my little zoomy zoom's doing not what it should. There they are. So there's a few of them jumping on in. Give us some sparkle hands, baby. Yay. And a few of them are off camera. That's okay. So a lot of the VIPs will start to jump on in as we progress, and then the first hour we spend out here with you guys on the live, and then the second hour we go dark. Yes, we go dark, and I start looking through these beautiful people's sexy numbers, their funnels, and we have all kinds of conversations, set our goals for the week, and do lots of cool things. So that's a little bit about Monday Mentoring, but today we're here to talk about sales conversations. So let me know in the chat box, and those in the VIP room as well, who struggles having sales conversations? Who feels sleazy, salesy, or gross? Or maybe the conversation goes really, really well until the transition to the ask part, where you've got to actually talk about money. Right? Can be super scary. And I get it, especially if you're a female entrepreneur. I find this more so. There's just this feeling that we want to give and help and not charge money. But we have to, or we're just running a hobby. If we're not charging, then we're not going to be able to grow our business. The more money we make, the more impact we can have in the world as well, right? So today I want to share with you, well, the strategies that I use and I teach on how to have sales conversations that isn't sleazy, salesy, or gross, okay? And it's really, at the beginning, it's listening more than speaking, okay? You want to listen 80% of the time. Yes, listen 80% of the time and speak 20% of the time. Now, we all know the beautiful rule of 80-20, right? And this comes with sales conversations as well. So I'm going to give you the formula that we teach inside of the Freedom Funnel Academy that will allow you to not feel salesy, sleazy, or gross. We got Melissa joining us. She's dropping the sparkles. Hey, Melissa, love it. All right, guys. So here we go. We're going to wait for that to drop away because we're going to edit this video later. This is what we call repurposing, guys. I shouldn't be distracted by the sparkles, but I did. I got distracted by the sparkles. Thank you, Melissa. Go, down. All right. Having sales conversations that don't make you feel sleazy, salesy, or gross, or that transition to having a great, wonderful conversation and then, now we've got to ask. It makes our stomach churn and our heart race, and sometimes it makes our sweat start running down our back. Now, we know we need to ask for the sale, or you're just running a hobby, but there can be that feeling of, I don't want to feel salesy. I don't want to sound gross. I just don't want to ask. So first off, what you want to do is you want to find your happy medium. You see, when you're having a sales conversation, you can be too pushy. Right? You can. And it does feel dreadful and it feels horrible. I worked for a company, it was called Your House Nutrition System. And we used to go around the shopping centres and we used to give out raffle tickets. And then, of course, we'd come back to the office and we'd call them to book them in for a consult. Now, I could do that perfectly fine because I wasn't selling. But when I got to the people's houses and I was teaching how to use this cookware, the company wanted me to make the people feel like bad parents, like literally neglecting their kids for not using this cookware, because that means that they weren't worried about their health because this cookware was a healthier way of cooking. Now, to me, that was so pushy and gross and horrible. And do you think I sold one set of cookware? Nope. They took me off. They took me off doing the rounds and they put me back on the phone because I couldn't do it. I couldn't be that gross and unauthentic. Okay, so there is too pushy. Then there is too passive. That's where you just are too scared to ask. You're like, oh, maybe sort of kind of if you'd like to really, maybe, I don't know, whatever. Now, being like that is no good either, because if people are coming to you for help, if they've booked a conversation to have with you, They're already interested or they wouldn't have hit the button. They've already got that sneaking suspicion inside them that what you have to offer is the thing that they need. So if you let their emotions get the better of them, that, oh my God, I don't know if I can get away. If you let them get away with that, you're actually doing them a disservice by not questioning them correctly. Okay, so there is too passive and too pushy. However, there is the middle ground where you can be a little bit of both. However, you need to find your happy place. Where is it that you sit? People know me. I get out the purple whip and I'm like, come on, is that the truth? Is it really? Or is it just an excuse? Now, coming from me, that's okay because that's what I do. I like give a little gentle sparkly love nudge, right? To make sure people aren't just making excuses. Now, inside of the Freedom Funnel Academy, you will find how to overcome objections. That's a whole nother class. We're not going to do that today, but we're going to talk about the framework to the ask. So you want to hear it? Are you ready? All right, here we go. So we get on the phone and the first thing we do is we don't want to just jump straight into it. A little bit of banter. A little bit of backwards and forwards. How are you going? How's the weather? What time is it in your world? Okay, so that's the first question. Is really just kind of laying the foundation to make them feel comfortable, ask them a little bit about who they are, maybe notice something in the background. Do you hear the dog barking? Oh, what fur baby do you have? All right, so that's number one. Then what I like to do is I like to make sure that I'm in control of the call. So then I move to telling them what's going to happen, but always ask permission. Is it okay with you if I just run through with you how I like to run these conversations? Now, see how that feels to you. If you were asked that question, it's like, oh, yeah, okay, please let me know. Then I'll explain to them how I like to run the session. Okay, it's a lot about asking lots of really good questions. And then, of course, we get into there's sort of three major parts we go through before we get to the sell. All right, so once we've done that, we've laid the foundation, told them how the call's going to run. We're now in control of the conversation. Okay, so they are expecting lots of really great questions. So then we move into the why now stage of the conversation. So the why now stage is a group of questions that you will spend a lot of time taking notes. Okay, lots and lots of listening. Because what we're looking for is what are their problems? What are their deep desires? What are their pain points? What are the reasons why now? Why did they book a call with us in the first place? So as we go through this, there's a few different why now questions I like to ask. First off, why now? Why, when you saw the chance to book a call, did you click that button? Now, they will let you know either usually what their problem is, what their pain points are. And through this section, you're looking for lots of really good statements that they are saying. So write them down. Write down everything, all the problems, all their desires, all the things they want and need. You will not be fixing. You will not be helping. Resist the urge to help in this phase. It's really hard, I know, because if you're following me, you want to transform lives, you want to help people. But please resist the urge to help. Second question I move into is why me? I mean, there are lots of other sales and marketing experts out there. Why me? So you do the same thing. Why me? There are other health coaches out there. There are other, physicians out there, psychologists, whatever it is that you do. Just ask, why me? There are lots of other, insert your specialty, people out there, why me? Now, what this is doing is it's allowing them to reflect on why they like you. And hey, it boosts your ego a little bit. But it also lets you know how long have they been following. This allows you, because most people won't say yes to you straight away. You always hear me say the work we do today affects our bank account, or our lead generation that we do today affects our bank account in 3 to 6 months' time. So this will also give you an insight into whether they've done some social stalking, whether they've been inside your community for a while, whether they've seen any of your lead magnets or training, or if they just happen to come across you and click the button. Okay, so this will also you will hear them telling you why they like you, and it's reinforcing to them why they want to work with you. All right, so why now? Why me? Then what I like to do is insert some kind of technical term that makes you sound like an expert. So whatever industry you're in, think about a question that they probably not going to know the answer to, okay? They may have never even heard the word before. But I want you to insert an expertise only once. You're using a little bit of jargon because it makes you sound like an expert, but then you can reply when they go, I don't know what that is, with your area of expertise. Okay, so one we like to do, because you know me, right? Lover of sexy numbers. What KPIs are you tracking in your business? What are KPIs or numbers? My follows, my likes. I'm like, no. Right, no, but it allows you to then show them your area of expertise. All right, the next thing is struggles. Now, your first two questions may not have pulled out the biggest pain points, the biggest struggles that they have. So you ask them, based on where you are now and what made you click that button to book a chat with me, what is your biggest struggle on getting you from, that A to Z? What is the biggest struggle from where you are right now to where you really, really want to be? What's that thing holding you back? Come on, lay it out for me. All right. Now, this is the gold. We're writing lots of copious notes during this phase, because it's going to point out all the things and all the help that they need. And again, resist the urge to fix. Okay. All right, moving into the last question in the why section, and this one really helps me to see whether or not they have tried anything. It makes me see how long have they been really searching for the solution. And it's, what actions do you think you should be doing to get that thing that they spoke about in the previous question? Okay. Now, this allows me to know, is it just something they're exploring? Is it something they're really struggling with? Maybe they know the answer, but they just don't know how to put all the pieces together. Or maybe they think they know how to put all the pieces together, but that question will point out to you that they just don't have it in the right order yet. All right. Again, resist the urge to fix. We're saying a lot of, wow, that's interesting. Tell me more. Thank you for sharing that between each of the questions. All right. So that's the why section. After we've done a lot of whying, mining into it, we then move into the I'm hearing you phase of the conversation. Now, the hearing you phase of the conversation makes them feel amazing, because you see, a lot of people talk, but very few people get heard. Because think about it, when you're having a conversation with somebody, a lot of the time you're thinking to yourself, what am I going to say next? How am I going to bring myself into this conversation? You see, your sales conversation isn't about you at all. It's all about them. You see, when you focus on them, you remove the emotional connection to the outcome, which is you getting a sale, and you focus on just listening to them. It all becomes about them, and it's no longer salesy, sleazy, or gross, because you're focused too much on them than you are on the sale. So as we move into each of these phases, we always need to ask permission. So remember at the beginning, is it okay with you if I explain to you how I'm going to run these calls today? Now we're moving into the why, the I'm hearing you stage. Is it okay with you if I just go through these notes that I've got here so we're on the same page and I've totally understood what you've said to me today? Yes. And all these little yeses, we call these mini closes. All right, so they're mini closing. Yep, all along the way. This is what we want them to do through the whole conversation. So when it comes time to ask, they go, yep, okay. Where do I sign? All right, so we move into the I'm hearing you phase. Now, what I want you to do in this phase is choose 3 things that they said in the first phase of the why phase. 3 things that they said and repeat them back to them in their own words. All right, if they didn't say it, you do not say it. So what you'll do is, so what I'm hearing is, and then you insert the problem that they've got, and then you insert how they will feel when they solve the problem, and then you end it with a yes question to get them to do a little mini yes. So, for example, what I'm hearing is, correct me if I'm wrong, is that you're struggling with getting from one-on-ones to one-to-many. You want to teach in groups because you're so strapped for time and you're unable to scale your business and you would love to be able to do that. Does that sound right? Right? Or I noticed that you need to be able to manage your time better because you feel like you're constantly throwing spaghetti at the wall and you just wish something would stick to give you traction. Does that sound right? Yes. See, what I'm doing here is I'm telling them their problem, the feeling that they want or the outcome that they want to achieve when they fix that problem, and getting them to confirm that it's right. We get the little mini yes, that is right. All right, so once we've moved through that, we do a few of those. I always like to throw 3 of those in. We then transition into the plan. We're still not selling yet. We've just had this whole conversation and we still haven't even started to sell. And again, as we move into the plan phase, we ask permission, gives us a little mini close. Is it all right with you if I lay out a bit of a plan for you to move forward to help you with that? And what are they going to say? They'd be silly to say no. No, I've just shared my heart and soul with you. I don't want to know anymore. Of course, they're going to say yes. I have never had anyone say no. Okay, great. Let me lay out a bit of a plan for you. And now we lay out 3 steps that they need to do. Now, we don't go, if you kind of sort of want to maybe do this and then maybe do that, you might be able to do this. We want to talk in a way that they are going to do this. So I always say you will. So first off, you will do this, and then you will do that, and then you will do this. All right, so that's how we do the plan. You will, and then you will, and finally you will. All right, so for example, you will create a lead magnet that's going to start to attract people to you. And then you will put it into some software so we can collect those email addresses and nurture them with emails. And then you will get them from a cold lead into a conversation to sell them your products. How does that sound? Right? So, I mean, there's lots of different ways. And the way I like to frame this is around the pain points, the struggles, the things that they had said earlier in the conversation. All right. So once you've done all that, you ask them, here we go, does that sound like a plan? And what are they going to go? Yeah. And here, this is the gold. I remember when I learned this one, I can't remember which sales coach I learned it through, but it was like light bulb moment. Okay. So write this one down. We move from that to sound like a plan. Yes. Do you feel like you've got enough information to move forward? Yes. Probably not. This is the goal. This is the goal. You ready? Would you like help with that? That is how you ask to start selling to them. That is how you ask, am I able to tell you about my products and services? That's it. You just say, would you like help with that? We've spent most of our call listening repeating back the words that they hear, making them feel so loved, heard, and appreciated. When it comes to the selling, we just ask, would you like help with that? And if they say, look, I would say 99% of the time, people will say, yeah, of course. And then we ask permission, is it okay with you if I lay out for you what it looks like to work with me? And then you just go into your sales presentation. Sound good? That's it. Now, of course, there is overcoming objections and all those things there inside the Freedom Funnel Academy library, but this should give you that transition from having a conversation and into the sale without feeling salesy, sleazy, or gross. It really is just a formula. I remember when I started using this, I got really good. I was closing at like 70+%. And then I just kind of threw the formula away and thought, oh, I'm doing so well. And I just kind of started winging it. And all of a sudden I started to notice that my closes were starting to decrease. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And what I did was I went back through all my old lessons from all my sales coaches and I rewrote my notes. Now, I can't remember exactly which one or which line it was, but I was missing one section inside of this framework. And as soon as I realized it and I put it back in, my conversions rose again. And because of going through that, I always just keep my notes, even though I very rarely look at them. It's like, it's just like this security blanket that I have now where I have these notes in front of me, the framework in front of me to work with. Now, the more sales calls you do, you will pivot in and out of the framework, but you always come back to the main framework. You'll ask different questions based on some of the answers that they give you. You'll dig deeper by asking why a few more times. But if you stick to the main framework of why, I'm hearing you, the plan, and would you like more help with that? If you stick to that framework and make sure you go through each of those, resisting the urge to solve the problem straight away, your conversion rates will go up. I promise. I've been doing this for years. All right, there we go. So that is the framework on how to have sales conversations without feeling salesy, sleazy, or gross, because you are focused on them. Removing that emotional connection to the outcome, focus on serving and helping them. Because at the end of the day, isn't that what we're trying to do? We're trying to help them. We're trying to transform lives. That's why we do what it is that we do. All right, I'm now going to head over to the VIP room. Come on in, VIPs. And anyone out there stalking who's part of the VIP room, now, something's happened with Ecamm, and since I've gotten back from Queensland, I haven't tested it yet. So what I'm going to do is see whether or not it says that it should capture your voices. So who wants to share a key takeaway with me? I see Deborah on the screen, so I'm going to come to Deborah. What's a key takeaway for you, Deborah, from that?
Hi, Sally. The key takeaway is I like that we're focusing on the person we're talking to and really looking for a need that we can meet, and then we're going to offer them the support to accomplish what they're not able to accomplish.
Yeah.
So that doesn't feel sleazy or salesy at all.
Right. Love that. Love that. Excellent. Trisha, how about you, honey? What's a key takeaway for you?
Keep your notes beside you and just refer to them, and don't go off script. That's really important.
Yeah, yep. Hey, Robin. Hi. How about you, honey? What's a key takeaway?
similar to Deborah. It's about solutions, offering solutions, and listening.
Yeah.
Listening.
Yeah.
Not being the one that jumps in and provides a solution to a problem that you're not even really sure about yet.
That's it.
You know, it's assuming that what the problem is when we haven't actually listened to what the problem is.
Yeah, right. Because we know what the answer is. Remember, we always talk about this. We know what the answer is. We're standing in the sunshine. We're loving life. We know the solution. But we need to get that umbrella, walk over to them and listen. And that's what the sales conversation is. It is grabbing that umbrella, walking over under the rain, standing next to them and going, why are you hurting? How can I help? Before we give them what we know is the solution, because half of the time, most of the time, they think they know what they need. Usually it's only what they want. Most people don't know what they need. They just know what they want. What is the outcome that they want? Like, nobody ever comes and says, I need a marketing automated funnel. It would be nice if someone would come. I'm like, yeah, cool. I got it for you. Here, plug it in. Most people are like, I need more customers. I need more leads. I'm like, well, that's not what you need. That's what you want. That's not what you need. Sarah, what's the key takeaway for you?
I always forget about the mini closes. With my one-on-one conversations, I do very well, and my close rate is very, very high. But I forget that little trick about asking the mini questions, getting the yeses, doing the mini closes. And I'm going to have to start incorporating that to see if I can increase my close rate.
Love it. That's so good. Yeah, those mini closes, it takes practice. After a while, you know, even when you're doing all the other things that we teach you inside of the Freedom Funnel Academy, we're doing mini closes through everything all the time. Through your webinars, through your mini trainings, through your live events, all of the things, we're constantly doing mini closes. So they're reassuring themselves, oh yeah, that's what I need. Yeah, that's what I need to do. Yes, I need to hire you. I see Erin hiding in the background. She's in very early for Erin, even though she's in America. We don't usually see her until the late afternoon, which is her 10 or 11 or 12 o'clock at night. Are you just stalking, not talking, Erin? Maybe. Okay. All right. And if anyone has a question out there on the live stream, feel free to drop a Q in the chat box. I'll be able to see them come through. Kat is also getting together all the submitted questions for Mentoring with Sally today, and she'll also be dropping those in for us. But we are now moving into a live Q&A time. So during live Q&A time, this is where you can ask me anything. All right, just ask me area of things that I'm good at. Okay, like I said, I can't sew buttons, I can't cook, but if you want to know anything about your sales, marketing, all of the things that I do, tags, squiggly lines, segmentation, that is so, like, I love to geek out. Or you want to share with me any of your marketing numbers, please share them. I would love to see them. And so drop a Q in the chat box with any questions you may have about anything. And let's come back to the VIPs and see if they've got any questions while Kat is getting together the submitted questions. So does any VIPs have any questions that you come with, or are you waiting until we go dark? Any questions that are outstanding from wherever you are currently inside the program? How are we all going? No questions. Oh, everyone's very quiet today. All right. How are you going, Kat? Have you got those questions? I know you're copy cutting and pasting, and she doesn't like to bombard me with questions in the chat box because I I get like, yes.
I've got a question, Sally.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're getting people into your conversations. What do you like to use to get people to engage in those conversations, to kind of book that with you?
Yeah, so this is what we do inside of the Freedom Funnel Academy. The fastest path from cold to sold is, you know me, challenges. That's what I love. Mini trainings, live events, whatever you want to call them. It's spending time with people. I think most of you have probably been through, I mean, how many challenges have you guys been through with me over the years? Lots. 3, yeah. Sarah probably has lost count. Honestly, live trainings are the way to go, because for me, what I find is that gives people time. By the time they make it into the conversation, they're like, oh, you're my girl. I'm hiring you, right? Because it's like there are lots of different ways of getting leads. And some of you may have done the list building one where we just make a PDF, okay? And then at the back end of the PDF, we try to offer a sales conversation. It's a lot harder to convert them on the back end of a PDF or even on the back end of a little evergreen video. Because if they've already had conversations with you, if they've already hung out with you a little bit, by the time they make it into the thing, they feel like they're your friend. They already know you. You've seen them in the room. So that's really what we teach, is creating a framework that you can use in live events. It doesn't matter what type of live event you do, but a live event. So a lot of you may have done the 30-day live events that we did. Now, we only run the 30-day live event during a build. Okay. There are other people I know. Amy Porterfield does a 30-day live event, or she does like a boot camp. But we only do a 30-day during a build, because what we're doing is we're actually building a course at the same time as we're list growing. Most of the time when we do live events, it might be a 4-hour workshop on a weekend, or it might be a 5-day event or a 3-day event, or it could be, 2 evenings. It doesn't really matter how you package up the live event. The content's always the same. That's where the framework comes into it. Because if you're teaching something different all the time, your message gets really blurry, right? This is, remember, build one thing and dial it in. And that's where teaching live events is the same. And all of you who are doing the Freedom Funnel Academy, you know this. Like, we're choosing one thing. We're building it once and we're done. And then we're just measuring and optimizing. They're the magical things. We build it, but then we measure and optimize, and we just repeat and repeat and repeat. So live events, and I totally went off on a tangent. Where's my tangent bell, Kat? Was that helpful, Deborah? Love it. Awesome. All right, we've got another submitted question. And any VIPs or live streamers, please feel free. Mandy says, currently I do not have any automation in place for my business. Where do I start? Mandy, lovely lady, great question. Start, for starters. What I find is that by the time you realize you need automation, sometimes it can feel too late. Now, because you've been doing everything yourself, and now you're starting to get busy, your business is starting to scale, and now you're like, oh my God, I've got to build all of these things. So I would recommend, what I always do is the rule of 3. If I find myself doing the same thing at least 3 times, I want you to stop and ask yourself, can this be automated? So if you're constantly sending your freebie out in an email every time somebody opts in or asks for your freebie, stop, automate it. At the end of a sales call, if you're constantly taking notes and needing to fire people off to get different emails, stop, automate it. So if you don't have any automation, number 1, list. Start with your list. Okay, top end of funnel and automate it. Because see, the top end of your funnel, where you're growing your leads, that should be as automated as possible. Because you see, otherwise this is where we feel like a hamster on a running wheel. We're running, and we're never seeming to get anywhere. Or you're moving in and out of hustle mode. By that I mean, you've got no clients, so you hustle to get clients. And then you get some clients and you get really busy, so you stop looking for new leads. And then when you stop looking for new leads, what happens? Everything dries up. So you hustle again. You hustle to find new clients. You get new clients. You serve those clients. And then they're all fixed. And you've got no one to work with again. And then you've got to hustle again. Hustle, 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 hustle. It's like this Groundhog Day of hustle, serve, hustle, serve, hustle, serve. If you truly want to move out of hustle mode, the first thing you should be automating is the top level of your sales and marketing system, the lead generation section. That one you want to have as automated as possible. You see, once they're constantly filling, right, you're getting all different ways, going through different traffic sources, you choose your traffic source. But once that's filling and doing its thing for you, then what you can do is you can stop and move out of hustle mode and just continue to serve those people that really need you and want you. Now, when I talk about automation and putting things on autopilot, it doesn't mean we don't talk to people. We've heard of B2B marketing or B2C marketing. I'm talking human to human marketing, H to H marketing. We still need to talk to people. Automation just takes away a lot of the repetitive tasks for us. That's the first thing it does. It takes away a lot of repetitive tasks. Second thing it does is it stops leads falling through the cracks. So let me know in the room and everyone out there, who has ever done this? You grow your list, they come into your autoresponder or CRM, and you send them the freebie, maybe a couple of emails, and then they just sit there. They don't do anything until you've got another promotion or another offer and you're not serving and loving on those people. So in the way of your automation, we've got a rule. Always build a fast track. So for those that are ready to say yes, always build a slow track. So every time somebody says no, then what? Where are we going to send them? And no dead ends is rule number 3, because no lead, no email should stop moving through your automation. The reason for that is it's not just an email. It's not just a string of letters and numbers with a little squiggly thing in the middle. It's a human who has thought, I really want this help, and I've put the email address into that. It's not back in the 80s or 90s or whenever it was, you got mail. We used to get excited. Oh, I got mail. People are much more protective over their email addresses than they used to be, unless you're a funnel hacker like me. But that's why I do what I do. But most people are pretty protective over their email address, and they're thinking before they put it in, do I really want this thing? And then you have to keep showing up. Okay. So automate as much as you can at the top end so that those people that are still considering you, are still doing their due diligence and researching you, are constantly getting nurtured and loved. And you're spending your valuable time talking to those that are a little closer to the sale and nurturing those that have purchased your product. But the top end is being loved on and nurtured in your list growth. So your question was, where should you start? With your list growth. Once you've built out your list growth funnel, then every time you're doing things, and if you find you're doing the same thing more than 3 times, stop and automate it. And if you do that from the very early stages of your business, before you get too busy, it's going to make your life so much easier. It is never too early to set up your systems and processes. If you can do them now, and it doesn't mean they're set in stone. It doesn't mean that you won't pivot and change and grow and develop your systems over time. But if you can do it, take as much of the heavy lifting off your plate as possible, do it. But I don't want you to get stuck in building mode and not selling. That's another thing that you can do when you start setting up automation is you can start feeling like, I just want to automate everything. No, don't do that either. Because if you're not selling, you don't have a business. Yes, automate the list growth, but don't get stuck in just feeling like you're being busy by automating things, but you're not actually focused on, there are 3 things, right? 1, you got to like people. 2, marketing. 3, sales. You have to be doing marketing and sales or you're not running a business. And a lot of people will find a happy place that they love to sit in. It's called creative avoidance, and it's usually not in the selling. So move out. Oh, hang on a second. I'm coming back. Sarah's just like laughing right now. Because Sarah's our little automation guru inside of the Freedom Funnel Academy, and she gets it, right? It's fun to automate. Well, it is for Sarah, just like it is for me. But she's pushing beyond her comfort zone now and actually having conversations, which is fabulous. Any takeaways there, guys, from those in the room? Please unmute, share. I'd love to hear. And we're going to be going dark soon and doing our goal setting, which we do every week. So I know there's a couple of other questions that Kat's said that there's got a couple of others. If we don't cover them, I will be putting them out there for you guys later. But I do also want to go over the goals for those who aren't in the room as well. Especially for those who are in the Sparkle Elite program. How do you build a scalable business? Whew, that's a big question. I feel like that's a whole lesson. Steve, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you to come and join us in our upcoming bootcamp. I'm actually going to share all the steps on how we build a scalable business from being just me to a team of amazing people. So that's a huge question, Steve. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to break it down for you over 5 days on how to create not just a business that leverages your time, but how to make it scalable so you can start hiring people, you can take a step back. Eventually your team will become your best clients. And your team are the ones that are looking after your clients. So I do have a little thing for that somewhere down here. Here we go. So if you want to come and join us, head to this, thefreedomfunnelformula.com. That's our upcoming bootcamp. It's a 5-day bootcamp that we're running in, I think it starts on the 19th or 18th of April. So it's only a couple of weeks away. So Steve, get registered for this. Okay, this is going to give you all of the things. I'm literally pulling back the curtain and showing you how you can build a scalable business, but also it's actionable. You know me, I love to GSD, get shit done, right? We get shit done inside the Sparkle world. So we'll be actually working through different stages and you'll be able to walk away knowing the strategies and the systems that we use and how to map that out in a scalable way versus just kind of guessing and winging it and hoping something sticks. We're going to work on your offer, making sure that it really calls out to your people so it makes their heads turn. And I'm talking about the right people. Getting 3,000 leads in a month that nobody wants to buy isn't quality leads. I've done it. I did it. I got stuck in it. When I was working with Amy Porterfield, I got stuck in it for a couple of months and I had to follow through. But it comes to messaging. So we're going to look at your offer. We're also going to talk about the best way to get people from cold to sold. What is the fastest track to do that? Because, you know, the work we do today usually takes 3 to 6 months for people to get to know, like, and trust us. You see, unlike fashion, you know, who Googles and you'll see a sparkly pair of shoes and all of a sudden these sparkly shoes are following you around the internet everywhere you go. Here is this little pop-up pair of shoes. But you see, when you're buying things like from the e-commerce world, most of the time people don't need to know, like, and trust the shoes. But in our space, like in the e-education space, the online learning space, coaching, consulting, course creating space, people need to get to know, like, and trust us. So we're going to show you the best method to get them from cold to sold as fast as possible. And then we're also going to show you how to set up your systems and processes so you can work smarter and not harder when it comes to actually scaling and growing your business. And we're going to teach you the 3 magical steps to true momentum so you can move out of building and finally start to scale and grow, rather than constantly building funnel after funnel after funnel, new lead magnet after new lead magnet after new lead magnet. We're going to show you how to stop yourself from doing that and actually start giving yourself true momentum. All right, so head to the Freedom Funnel Formula. We've only just started telling people about it. It is a new training that we have revamped recently with the help of my coach. Everyone should have a coach. It's a training we've been running for a while, but we have revamped it with the help of my my business coach. And I don't care who you choose, guys, but everybody should have a coach. Everybody. I've always had one, and I actually budget for a coach every single year. And with the help of my coach, we've revamped this training as well. Bronwyn has asked, what is the best social media platform to use to grow your list? Which one works for you? I have a couple of prerequisites when it comes to choosing your social media platform. Now, these are just traffic sources, okay? These are where you go. And it doesn't always have to be social media. It can be networking, joint ventures, podcasting. There are many, many places to go to find people. But if you're talking social media like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, all the things, okay? Usually 2 things I ask. One is, where do your people mostly hang out? So for me, most of my people are 40 plus, up to 80, okay? They're usually got older kids, or they've got the time, or maybe they've got the finances to be able to put their efforts into their businesses, or they're at a stage in their business where they're making enough money, but now they can't scale. And usually that's 40 plus. Now, most of my people aren't dancing around on TikTok. Some of them are, but not all of them. And a lot of them aren't even on Instagram. You know, my daughter hangs out on Instagram. She calls Facebook because where the old people are. Well, they're my people. We're old. It's okay. And number 2 is, where do you like to hang out? If you hate Facebook and you prefer Instagram, that doesn't mean, because I've said that my people are on Instagram and maybe your people are 40 plus, that 40 plus people don't hang out on Instagram. They do. There are lots of successful sales and marketing people making a living with their traffic source on Instagram. So 1, where are your people? And 2, what do you like to do? Because you don't want to be in there hating it. Like, I'm trying to transition to YouTube, right? This is the place we want to now grow. But when I chose my platform, and this is, thank you, Shalene Johnson, who has been a fabulous mentor for many years and years ago, she says, just pick one. And that's what I did. She was hanging out on Instagram. I couldn't figure the whole Instagram thing out. And I was already playing around on Facebook. And I'd already run a design business through Facebook, selling stubby holders and business cards and running ads over there. So I was like, I'm going all in on Facebook. But when I say go all in on a platform, I'm not just saying post on a platform. I'm saying learn everything you can about that platform. So when I went all in on Facebook, I just didn't work out how to run a business page. I learned out how to run groups, how to run events, how to do live events. You know, now they're doing like stories and like every opportunity that they give you for using that platform, learn about them all. and get really, really good at it. You see, if you're trying to learn 5 different platforms, you're building way too many bridges. Just pick one and go all in. All right? Pick one and dial it in. Learn everything you can, and that will make you most successful. You look at us on Instagram, we have 2,500 followers maybe. YouTube, 550 something. I know that number came up at our team meeting this week. We do want to get to 1,000 so we can monetize it. That is a goal. But if you look at Facebook, we're at like 118,000. Why? Because we chose one thing and we dialed it in. We went all in on Facebook. And we've grown the business that we've grown through leveraging Facebook, and joint ventures was the other one as well. But, you know, you asked about social media. All right. Now, before I go, I do actually want to head into the Facebook group for the goals. And for those guys here who are currently we do this once we go dark, but I do want to share with everybody, just bear with me while I get into the Elite Facebook group. Oh, yeah. So every Monday we put up a post. I'm hoping it's already gone up. It has. Oh, look at that. All right. So every Monday we put up a post, and this is about setting your goals. So let me find the share screen. Hopefully this is the right one. Yes. All right. Okay. So every week we put up this post inside of the Facebook group, and this is so that we can hold you accountable. And you can also be held accountable as well. So under here, what you're going to do is you're going to post your goals, and we're actually going to tag everybody who posted last week. So if you post last week, we will actually, after you posted on Monday, we will tag you on Friday and check in with you to see how you went. And then on Monday, we will tag you again to remind you to put your goals in. Now, I do want you to also have personal health goals and all of those things. Jackie would 100% want you to do some mind work and all the things for your physical health. But these are business goals. That's what this post is for, because that's what you hire me for. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to think about, you got to choose between 3 to 5, okay, 3 to 5, and you have to choose a category that you're going to focus on. And they are non-negotiable tasks that must be done in marketing, sales, and I want to see at least a marketing and sales goal. And then you can choose education and innovation. Now, we know 70% of your time should be spent in marketing and sales, in your IPAs, 20% in education, and 10% in innovation. Okay? If you're not making money, stop building things. That's what innovation is, making new things. All right, and then you also need to add a benchmark. So here's a couple of examples. Marketing, you're going to review your KPIs for the end of your campaign and see that you hit your conversion goal. Okay, so that may sit down and you do a plan, do review session where you're reviewing all your numbers, looking at all the things that you're doing different. Education might be completing a particular task. Marketing, again, create 3 podcasts. You not only just create them, but you've got to say, how will I know they're done? Okay, so you edit them, write show notes, and schedule them. And if you're doing a podcast, of course, guys, don't forget your calls to action. Sales, book 8 sales calls, conduct 5, close 3. Okay, and if you want to dig that even deeper, how are you going to book those 8 sales calls? Okay, pop down the actionable benchmarks. I'm going to join 10 Facebook groups. I'm going to get X amount of people to join my group. I'm going to have X amount of DM conversations, all right? So I want you to think like a business owner. Don't put your head in the sand when it comes to your sexy numbers. All right, and they are non-negotiable tasks. We do have a template in here for you as well. If you want to use a template, you don't have to, but there is a template in here that will actually go through how to set your goals, talks about SMART goals, and it's a good one that you can come back to and work on each week, and then how I am your ultimate accountability buddy. So I'm hoping everyone in the VIP room is now starting to write down their goals, because we're going to discuss them, and I'm going to make sure that they're SMART goals, but not just SMART, that you are actually going to choose non-negotiable tasks that are going to take your business forward. All right, guys. Well, we are at the end of our Go Live session. We've still got another hour with the VIPs. I know a lot of you beautiful VIPs for Monday mentoring, or mentoring with Sally. Whoopsie. It's called Mentoring with Sally now. I know a lot of you wait until the end because you love to watch it on the live stream, and then you come on in and join us in the VIP room. So you can do that now. Head on in. And I just want to say, for those that want to join us, don't forget we are running this free bootcamp. It's a 5-day training that's going to show you how to generate 6 and 7 figures, right? A scalable 6 and 7 figure business without all the tech overwhelm and all the craziness that comes with building it. We're going to give you a look behind the curtains on the systems that we do and teach to help people scale their business. And if you don't want to miss another live session and you've just tuned in and you're like, how do I make sure I don't miss these things? Then head to this link here. This is our calendar. This is where we actually put up all of our live events. So this session, but also if you click the little subscribe button on the calendar, it will add it to your own Google Calendar in your own time zone, so you never have to miss another live event where you can come and hang out with me and the rest of the team as well. All right, guys, as always, never let anyone dull your sparkle. Thank you all for joining us. Make sure you get at least one income producing activity done each and every day. Bye for now.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long.